What can cause excessive or uneven tire wear? A faulty gearbox. A faulty braking system. A faulty electrical system. A faulty exhaust system. You need to top up your battery with distilled water. What level should you fill it to? The top of the battery. Halfway up the battery. Just below the cell plates. Just above the cell plates. What should you do if you want to turn left at a junction where pedestrians have started to cross? Go around them, leaving plenty of room. Stop and wave at them to cross. Sound your horn and proceed. Give way to them. Why do motorcyclists use dipped headlights in daylight? So that the rider can be seen more easily. To stop the battery overcharging. To improve the rider's vision. The rider is inviting you to proceed. Which vehicle is most likely to take an unusual course at a roundabout? Estate car. Milk float. Delivery van. Long vehicle. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road? 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. Why do motorcyclists use dipped headlights in daylight? So that the rider can be seen more easily. To stop the battery overcharging. To improve the rider's vision. The rider is inviting you to proceed. Which vehicle is most likely to take an unusual course at a roundabout? Estate car. Milk float. Delivery van. Long vehicle. What's the national speed limit on a single carriageway road? 50 miles per hour. 60 miles per hour. 40 miles per hour. 70 miles per hour. How should you react to inexperienced drivers? Sound your horn to warn them of your presence. Be patient and prepare for them to react more slowly. Flash your headlights to indicate that it's safe for them to proceed. Overtake them as soon as possible. You're leaving a safe gap as you follow a large vehicle. What should you do if a car moves into this gap? Sound your horn. Drop back further. Flash your headlights. Start to overtake. How should you dispose of a used vehicle battery? Bury it in your garden. Put it in the dustbin. Take it to a local authority disposal site. Leave it on wasteland. What should you do if you have to stop while you're going through a congested tunnel? Pull up very close to the vehicle in front to save space. Ignore any message signs, as they're never up to date. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. Make a U-turn and find another route. Other drivers may sometimes flash their headlights at you. What's the official meaning of this signal? There's a radar speed trap ahead. They're giving way to you. They're warning you of their presence. There's a fault with your vehicle. You're on a 3-lane motorway. How should you overtake a slow-moving lorry in the middle lane if it's showing this sign? Cautiously approach the lorry, then overtake on either side. Follow the lorry until you can leave the motorway. Use the right-hand lane and overtake the lorry normally. Approach with care and overtake on the left of the lorry. How should you drive in areas with traffic calming measures? At a reduced speed. At the speed limit. In the center of the road. With headlights on dip beam. Why should you slow down as you approach this hazard? Because of the level crossing. Because it's hard to see to the right. Because of approaching traffic. Because of animals crossing. Tanned pavement is closed due to street repairs. Watch out for pedestrians walking in the road. Use your right-hand mirror more often. Speed up to get past the roadworks more quickly. Position close to the left-hand curb. You're following a vehicle on a wet road. You stay a safe distance behind it. What should you do if a driver overtakes you and pulls into the gap you've left? Flash your headlights as a warning. Try to overtake safely as soon as you can. Drop back to regain a safe distance. Stay close to the other vehicle until it moves on. Which vehicles are prohibited from using the motorway? Powered mobility scooters. Motorcycles over 50cc. Double-deck buses. Cars with automatic transmission. Crossing. What should you do if the red lights continue to flash after a train has gone by? Phone the signal operator. Alert drivers behind you. Wait. Proceed with caution. You're on a smart motorway. What does it mean when a mandatory speed limit is displayed above the hard shoulder? You shouldn't travel in this lane. The hard shoulder can be used as a running lane. You can park on the hard shoulder if you feel tired. You can pull up in this lane to answer a mobile phone. How do smart motorways prevent traffic bunching? By using higher speed limits. By using advisory speed limits. By using minimum speed limits. By using variable speed limits. What should you do when you park at night on a road that has a 40 mph speed limit? Park facing the traffic. Leave parking lights switched on. Leave dipped headlights switched on. Park near a street light. Where will you see these red and white markers? Approaching the end of a motorway. Approaching a concealed level crossing. Approaching a concealed speed limit sign. Approaching the end of a dual carriageway. Will you see these red and white markers? Approaching the end of a motorway. Approaching a concealed level crossing. Approaching a concealed speed limit sign. Approaching the end of a dual carriageway. You stop on the hard shoulder of a motorway and use the emergency telephone. Where's the best place to wait for help to arrive? Next to the phone. Well away from the carriageway. With your vehicle. On the hard shoulder. What does this signal from a police officer mean to oncoming traffic? Go ahead. Stop. Turn left. Turn right. You're approaching this roundabout. What should you do when a cyclist is keeping to the left while signaling to turn right? Sound your horn. Overtake them. Assume they're turning left. Allow them space to turn. A casualty isn't breathing normally and needs CPR. At what rate should you press down and release on the center of their chest? 10 times per minute. 120 times per minute. 60 times per minute. 240 times per minute. Why is it more difficult to overtake a large vehicle than a car? It will take longer to overtake a large vehicle. A large vehicle will be fitted with a speed limiter. A large vehicle will have air brakes. It will take longer for a large vehicle to accelerate. Which of these signs warns you of a zebra crossing? You're about to overtake a cyclist. Why should you leave them as much room as you would give to a car? The cyclist might speed up. The cyclist might get off their bicycle. The cyclist might be unsettled if you pass too near them. The cyclist might have to make a left turn. You arrive at an incident. There's no danger from fire or further collisions and the emergency services have been called. What's your first priority when attending to an unconscious motorcyclist? Check whether they're breathing normally. Check whether they're bleeding. Check whether they have any broken bones. Check whether they have any bruising. At an incident, someone is unconscious and you want to help. What would be the first thing to check? Whether their vehicle is insured. Whether they have any allergies. Whether they're comfortable. Whether their airway is open. At an incident, a casualty isn't breathing. What should you do while helping them to start breathing again? Put their arms across their chest. Shake them firmly. Roll them onto their side. Open their airway. At an incident, someone is suffering from severe burns. How could you help them? Apply lotions to the injury. Burst any blisters. Remove anything sticking to the burns. Douse the burns with clean, cool water. What could cause you to crash if the level is allowed to get too low? Antifreeze level. Brake fluid level. Battery water level. Radiator coolant level. You're following other vehicles in fog. You have your headlights on dip beam. What else can you do to reduce the chances of being in a collision? Keep close to the vehicle in front. Use main beam instead of dipped headlights. Keep up with the faster vehicles. Keep a safe distance from the vehicle in front. There's been a collision. A motorcyclist is lying injured and unconscious. Why should you only remove their helmet if it's essential? They might not want you to remove it. Removing it could make any injuries worse. Removing it could let them get cold. You could scratch the helmet as you remove it. What does it mean if the signs at a bus lane show no times of operation? The lane isn't in operation. The lane is only in operation at peak times. The lane is in operation 24 hours a day. The lane is only in operation in daylight hours. What should you do when you're following a motorcyclist along a road that has a poor surface? Follow closely so they can see you in their mirrors. Overtake immediately to avoid delays. Allow extra room in case they swerve to avoid potholes. Allow the same room as normal to avoid wasting road space. How should you approach the zebra crossing? Be ready to slow down or stop to allow pedestrians to cross. Slow down and wave the pedestrians across. Speed up to get past the crossing. Sound your horn to warn the pedestrians. You've stopped at the zebra crossing. When may you move off? When the pedestrians have cleared your side of the road. When the pedestrians have completely crossed. When the oncoming car moves off. When the driver behind you sounds their horn. You see this amber traffic light ahead. Which light, or lights, will come on next? Red alone. Red and amber together. Green and amber together. Green alone. An adult casualty isn't breathing. To maintain circulation, CPR should be given. What's the correct depth to press down on their chest? 1 to 2 centimeters, 5 to 6 centimeters, 10 to 15 centimeters, 15 to 20 centimeters. What's the maximum fine for driving or riding without insurance? Unlimited. £500, £1,000, £5,000. At night, what does it mean if you see a pedestrian wearing reflective clothing and carrying a bright red light? You're approaching roadworks. You're approaching an organized walk. You're approaching a slow-moving vehicle. You're approaching a traffic danger spot. How should you approach the zebra crossing? Be ready to slow down or stop to allow pedestrians to cross. Slow down and wave the pedestrians across. Speed up to get past the crossing. Sound your horn to warn the pedestrians. You've stopped at the zebra crossing. When may you move off? When the pedestrians have cleared your side of the road. When the pedestrians have completely crossed. When the oncoming car moves off. When the driver behind you sounds their horn. Why should you take care driving past the man with the cane? He's deaf. He's blind. He's deaf and blind. He's physically disabled. The registered keeper of the vehicle. The car dealer. The driver and vehicle licensing agency, DVLA. How can driving in a fuel-efficient manner help protect the environment? Through the legal enforcement of speed regulations. By increasing the number of cars on the road. Through increased fuel bills. By reducing exhaust emissions. What does fuel-efficient driving achieve? Increased fuel consumption. Improved road safety. Damage to the environment. Increased exhaust emissions. What should you do while you're driving or riding along a motorway? Look much further ahead than you would on other roads. Travel much faster than you would on other roads. Maintain a shorter separation distance than you would on other roads. Concentrate more than you would on other roads. Brakes. Moving off on a hill. Turning into a narrow road. Passing pedal cyclists.